I've led an interesting life. I will say that. It really feels like 4 or 5 lives. I started out. I was the youngest of 8 children. My father died when I was 4 months old, and Mom had to raise all 8 of us. And we were pretty upper middle class when he died, and then it got to be a bit of a struggle after he passed. But we did fine, and but I knew I needed to get an education. I was growing up in a small town in the Midwest in the United States, and the education was the only way I could get out and make a living. And I wanted to do things. I was, I suppose, arrogant enough to think I could do some things, and I was going to get a degree. So I went through a master's, a PhD program, went to law school. And then from the education, I got into public service. I started running political campaigns in the United States, and then I started teaching as well. And I've taught now at the collegiate level probably 30 years, the last 20 or so at Harvard. And see, about 5 or 6 years ago, I quit. I was there full time for 16 years, and I've been coming back to Harvard every year to train students. Because while I was there, I also started 2 international consulting companies, and I've been doing international consulting in political campaign consulting and then communication training. And I've worked now in over 50 countries around the world, and I've been very fortunate, met a lot of interesting people. I've worked for, did training, I should say, for 11 presidents and prime ministers, for a Nobel Peace Prize winner. And the training is increasingly, it's based on a paradigm of communication that I developed at the Kennedy School and around the world. And the beauty of it is it's universal. That is, it doesn't matter your mother tongue, doesn't matter your culture, doesn't matter where you're from geographically. The paradigm is based on passion and emotion, not intellectualism. Like a lot of professional speakers think, well, I just got to show that I'm really smart and I'll connect well. And when Harvard asked me to teach this particular course on, I said I wouldn't teach. It was a course called To Be a Politician. And I had a lot of political experience, and they were like, you've got all kinds of stories. You've been through all these races. There's so much you can tell them. And I said, no, I won't teach it if I have to do that. I said, I want to develop, I believe that we're training people to communicate at a professional level wrongly. We're training them that if they can just show that they're smart. And so when you write a speech, if you took 10 hours, you'd spend about 9 of it trying to get the words right. And the way that you would present it would be just to read it. And when we started testing that, and because the dean said, fine, I had been teaching a campaign management course that was very popular at the Kennedy School. And so he said, teach it any way you want it. I'll leave it up to you. So I started to develop this communication paradigm and found, in fact, that it was that human communication is much more based on passion and or emotion, however you want to catalog it, than it is on intellectualism.